In that interview with Dave Zoller, you said that 80% of an advisor's team could be replaced by technology. Jason, I had no less than 10 advisors send me that podcast and say, Jay, how is this actually going to play out? What do I need to be doing? Tell me, what do you mean by that provocative statement?
Sure. Well, I think, we'll get into like the how to replace people. I think one of the first things that we all just need to be more or less honest with ourselves about, I think this is not just unique to advisors. It's probably any, professional, service-based business, is just how we use our time, right? So there's, let's just say for simplicity's sake, there's, 2,000-ish hours a year that you're going to work. So somewhere in the neighborhood of, 40 hours a week for 50 weeks a year, give or take, depending on how much people want to work, right? But, if people really audited their time, what they would likely find is that they're probably spending a third of that on like actual high productivity, work. And staff are probably, maybe they might be a little bit better, like if they have very specific charter, but many of them are definitely not getting 2,000 hours of productive work. I mean, it's just not the way things are. So the first thing that everyone has to do is, again, be honest about that, and then think through what would be necessary, like what kind of radical change would be necessary to get to a place where you are actually getting the most out of the time you put in. The analogy I give people often is like, if you go to the gym and you work out, there's people who go there and they, like kind of lollygag from machine to machine. They don't really put in a ton of effort. They take a long break and are chit-chatting with other people. From, time of arrival to time of departure, let's just say they're there for 45 minutes, but they only really put in 15 minutes of work. You will not get the same results as someone who goes in there for even 30 minutes, right? But does it with like a high degree of intensity and intentionality. So that's step one, is just like, you've got to be honest about what's possible. And most people are not even coming close to scratching the surface of what their actual productivity could be.